Hello, and welcome to our first online lecture series, class series, whatever you want to call it, for Accounting 2. In this video, what I want to do is go over some expectations as well as provide you with some suggestions on how you can make this situation that we're in a little bit more bearable and hopefully more fruitful and successful for you guys. Okay, I'm not exactly sure how many of you have ever taken online classes before. I can tell you right now, I've taught online for many years, and I like to bring a certain face-to-face element in that. Meaning, I know we're separated by distance and time. I'm recording this now. It's like, almost noon on a Tuesday. Lord knows when you're watching this. That's okay. But the idea is that I try and interact or present the material in such a way as if it is in face-to-face form, that we're engaged. I ask you questions, and hopefully you answer those questions, or they spur you to think. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Everything's going to be online, obviously, at least until the foreseeable future. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put everything online. There's going to be a number of lecture videos, demo videos, a lot of content for you. You will not be going through this alone, okay? I designed this in a way, like I said, to kind of mimic that face-to-face live environment. So I'm going to pose questions throughout the lecture videos and throughout the demo videos. And the idea is that hopefully, again, you engage with those questions and you think about the material and you think about what's being asked. We will have we will have Tuesday sessions. In Blackboard, I grouped you guys into groups of 10, gave you guys time slots. By the way, those time slots are Eastern Standard Time. So if you're out on the West Coast or the Midwest, I apologize. If you have a 9 o'clock, or I'm sorry, an 8 o'clock start time, I know that might be kind of early for any of you folks that are out towards the West Coast. But the idea is that each group has an hour. We'll log in to Blackboard. I'll set up a Collaborate session. It's a virtual classroom. Everybody logs on at once. You'll log in, obviously, based on your group and your designated time. And you can ask me questions. We can speak live, one-on-one. The idea is, again, that you have already watched the material. You have already worked through some of the example problems. And the idea is for you to get clarification. I'm not going to teach per se, meaning I'm not going to present any new material. The idea of those calls is just to clear up any confusion. Okay, so in order to get through this, and I know a lot of you signed up for face-to-face because maybe you don't like online. I get that. I'm not a big fan of being an online student as well. So I'm going to try and liven it up as much as I can, or as much as we can. But here's some tips on the slide of some things that you as an online student should probably think about implementing, right? First things first, I think it's very important that you dedicate time to work with the material, right? So right now, our classes, well, obviously are suspended, but prior to the outbreak, we met every Tuesday from 6 to 8:45, right? You designated time, you showed up to a room, we talked, we presented the material, we worked on some problems together. I want you to, it's very important that you try and keep that same schedule, right? Dedicate a time of, okay, it's, I don't know, 1 o'clock, whatever. Okay, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to see what Bruce put up on in Blackboard, and I'm going to work through the material. Okay, that's number one. Dedicate a time for you to work on the material. Step 2 is to dedicate a spot to work on the material. For example, I'm fortunate enough that we have an extra bedroom, and my wife allowed me to turn it into an office. So I'm sitting in my office right now, and what I do is, I dedicate time. I say, okay, I'm going to spend, X amount of hours or X amount of time working on online lessons and things like that. So I have my time and I have my spot. I come to my office, I shut my door, my dogs are outside, and I'm just focusing on what I have to be doing, okay? This next suggestion is vitally important, right? When you're sitting here watching the videos, and I guarantee Kenny's probably sitting there on his computer, probably got the video in the background, listening to me drone on about tips and tricks to be successful in the online environment, right? So the idea is to engage in the material, right? Pay attention, take notes. It might be a little difficult because obviously you're at home, you're by yourself. There's probably a lot of distractions. But again, if you dedicate time, dedicate a spot, remove those distractions, it will hopefully allow you to engage in the material. So what I would like you to do as you engage with the material is take notes, right? Actually work through the examples, right? Write down questions that you may have for our meetings, okay? Every Tuesday, we're going to meet for an hour. Excuse me. And I want you to bring questions. Hey, in this video, you went over cash dividends. Yeah, I watched the video. I looked at the demos. I still got some questions. Hey, that's not a problem. I'm here to help you. So at that point in time, we can, answer those questions in real time. Okay, very, very important that you actually engage with the material. You don't become a passive learner. You actively listen, you actively take notes, you actively work through those examples. Very important. I promise you, if you actively engage in the material, this crap will be easy. It really, really will. If you're goofing off, if you're half listening, you're playing a game, you're playing on your phone, playing, I don't know, what do you kids play these days? In my day, it was Tetris, right? I'd be on my Game Boy playing Tetris, not paying attention. Yeah, it's going to be difficult. You're going to struggle, okay? Lastly, you're not alone, right? There's 32 other students in this class, all going through the same thing, right? I've been through this teaching online for probably about 6 years now, and I can tell you, you are not alone. I'm here to help you. All you got to do is reach out to me. You text me anytime. It's not a problem, okay? And finally, stay focused, right? If you dedicate time to work on the material, if you dedicate a spot to actually work on that material, remove all distractions, engage in the material, right? Remember that you're not alone, that you do have a support system. I am here to help you. You have your, I'm sure you guys are, maybe FaceTiming or texting each other, some of the friends that you have in the class. You're not alone, okay? We'll get through this. And finally, again, just stay focused, okay? So what's going to happen now is I break these lectures down probably into I try and keep them short, right? Maybe half hour, 45-minute increments of going through the material, giving you what's important and demonstrating how to do those videos or do the problems. So it's important that you watch them in sequential order. And it's, again, very important that you work through everything, okay? So we'll see you guys. Actually, we'll talk to you guys next week. Tuesday, I believe the date's the 24th. Don't quote me on that. I'm just going off my head. I believe next Tuesday, bear with me here, again is the 24th, and I'm just looking on my phone for the calendar just to make sure that I have the right date. And I do. Tuesday the 24th, we're going to talk for an hour face-to-face over any questions that you may have about how we're going to proceed through this time, as well as any questions on material. Okay? So we'll see you in our next video. Our next video, we're going to really jump into Chapter 14, which continues our discussion on corporations. Specifically, we're going to look at dividend, retained earnings, and how corporations report income. So please tune back in for that video.